This is a podcast all about Bears. You either cheering for this team or just pulling your hair. I like to take a minute, just sit right back and tell you how I became the #1 Bears fan.
That boy is Benny Hunter.
Cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic. People, this the intro. Sacramento, California, born and raised. And Antelope is where I spend most of my days. Talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Like always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. So, Bears fans, we are heading back home to Soldier Field to take on the Detroit Lions in the Week 10 matchup. And like always, I am joined with my special guest, Isaiah Frey. How you doing, Isaiah?
Good. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, let's cut right to the chase, man. And I want to hear your initial reaction and thoughts on, the performances that Justin Fields has put together these last couple of weeks.
I mean, I want to toot our own horn, but we've been saying this since week 1. I mean, if there's been 2 believers in Justin Fields, it's been us this whole time. So it's expected, man. Honestly, that's where I'm at with it. Like, we knew this was going to happen. We seen how he played in college. His poise is everything to me. And it's been like that since week 1. He hasn't been too up, hasn't been too down. And now we're starting to see what Bears fans can really look forward to in the future. And it's fantastic.
Right. And what's been like the most impressive thing that you've seen from Justin Fields in this like little 5-game stretch where he's really taken the NFL by storm?
Other than his poise, I think just his pocket presence, just understanding what he needs to get done every single play. He knows, he makes a decision and he knows exactly what he wants to do with the decision. There was a play, for instance, last week where it was a run pass option and he rolled out and immediately he seen an opening. He didn't think twice about it. He just went. And that's what you want to see from a young quarterback, man, making decisive decisions and living with the result.
Yeah, for sure. And I think one of my favorite plays from last week was his ability to realize that he had a spy on him, right? And that was a touchdown to Darnell Mooney on all-pro cornerback and Xavier Howard, a very good corner in the NFL, right? He knows that there's a spy, and he throws it in a spot to where only Darnell Mooney can make a play, and in a spot where Xavier Howard had no chance to make a play on that ball. And I know a lot of people look at, oh, well, he only had 123 passing yards. People really got to stop looking at stats. You got to look at the maturity, his composure in these games, right? It's getting to the point where as long as you have Justin Fields, you have a chance to win the football game.
Oh, yeah. And not to toot our horn again, we called the score. It was going to be a high-scoring game. We knew it. Defense played hard. They just outmatched, But the offense, man, they look great. They're looking fantastic, man. I guess he's getting those guys, man. He knows exactly how to call the plays now, and it's looking good.
And obviously, the Chicago Bears dropped a heartbreaking loss to the Miami Dolphins. High scoring affair, 35-32. But once again, when's the last time you've seen a Chicago Bears offense put up 30 points a game in a span of 3 weeks, right? So it's pretty impressive what Luke Getsy, Justin Fields are doing. But Isaiah, I kind of want to pick your brain a little bit on 2 huge calls that kind of changed the game before we move on to the pregame show against the Lions. Give me a reaction to not only the one on Eddie Jackson, but the one they blatantly missed on Chase Claypool as well.
Both of them were atrocious. The Eddie Jackson one, unbelievable. I've never seen a DB be taught what he's been told to do by refs, turn and look, lean and squeeze at the ball, and still get a PI called on him. That was a big call right there because they it was points. And then obviously the Chase Claypool one was atrocious. That was obviously pass interference. That would have put them, I don't know, maybe on the 20, 15-yard line going in.
Yep.
When, as a referee, man, you can't miss calls like that in a game like that. That's unacceptable. And, it sucks for the Bears and the Bears fans that it happened just because those are 2 big calls that they could have won the game from.
Absolutely. And obviously there's a lot of positive things from the offense. We can't say the same thing about the defense. But I think there's a lot of things that you're like, okay, we have our guy, we have our franchise guy. And I think at the end of the day, I think we talked a little bit about this last week is like, the best scenario for the Bears is watching your young quarterback develop into a superstar, but then also getting really good draft position as well, right? So you can help your team get better at the end of the day. But obviously the Bears are traveling back home to take on what I like to call them a feisty Detroit Lions football team. You know, I feel like they're well coached. You can never count them out of the game. They are still the Lions, but I think they're really well coached, right? Obviously, the Lions are coming off a pretty big win against the Green Bay Packers, something that the Bears haven't been able to do. So kudos to them. But what's your initial reaction to this matchup against the Lions?
I think it's a good matchup for both teams. I'm looking forward to this game. I know it's, not a battle of two teams that have good records, but both of these teams are fighting, man. They're fighting their butts off. And that's what you want to see in the NFL is guys competing. Because a lot of the times you'll see, and I can speak of this because I was in the environment of bad teams. When teams just don't have good records, man, you're not out there competing. You're out there collecting a paycheck. But you can tell these guys are out there to win. So it should be a good game, man, regardless of the records. I'm looking forward to it.
Right. And obviously, like you just mentioned, this is the opportunity for both teams, right? And you can't really say a lot about the Detroit Lions defense, but one thing they do have, they're able to put up points. A lot of the games that they've been in, they've scored 20, 25 plus points a game. It's just their defense, kind of like what the Bears are in right now, right? Where the Bears are scoring a lot of points, but for some reason, the defense is just not quite there, right? And so there's going to be a lot of opportunities for both sides to put up a lot of points. This could be another high-scoring game. But when I look at this game, I see a lot of opportunity for yet another big Justin Fields performance as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This is he's just going to continue to grow. It's another good game for him to go out and explode like he has. Yeah, and like you said, look for it to be a high-scoring game. I think it should be a fun one to watch.
So, Isaiah, as we look at this game against the Detroit Lions, what are some X factors you're kind of looking at for both sides?
X factor for me for the Bears is their newly acquired receiver, Chase Claypool. He kind of, he did okay for his first game. It was expected for him to be, kind of behind on understanding what, needed to be done in the offense. But you could tell there was a couple of times they were trying to pop the top with him, right? They know exactly what he needs to get done and what they want him to do. So, look for them to open it up and have him be that guy to kind of stretch the field out. And then as far as the Detroit Lions, it's always going to go with the quarterback. It's always Jared Goff. He needs to, he's been playing okay, playing well. But they go as the offense goes as he goes. So hopefully the Bears can have a better game than they did last week. But I look for him to be in their X factor for the Lions.
Right. And just regarding Chase Claypool, you can already see what he's going to be for the Chicago Bears offense, right? That deep threat. Obviously, he's going to need to learn the offense a little bit more, obviously. But you can already tell that that's going to be one of Justin Fields' guys, right? A guy that he can depend on in big situation. He's going to make those big plays for Justin Fields. If it wasn't for that guy pulling him back, he would have made that play. You know what I mean? So you can already see what Chase Claypool is going to be for the Chicago Bears offense. Regarding Jared Goff, up and down, right? I feel like he has a potential to have a big game, and it wouldn't surprise me if this is the week that he explodes on the Chicago Bears, especially the way the Bears defense has been playing. So you have to be cautious of that. And I definitely agree with that X factor as well. My X factor for the Chicago Bears, I'm just going to go with Justin Fields. Like we said, we just want to see him get 1% better each week. At this point, that's all I care about. And I know that may sound selfish of me because I know it's a team sport, but as long as Justin Fields is playing well and proving the doubt is wrong, it makes me and you look really good. Because once again, we've been on his supporting cast since week one. We love Justin Fields since week one. So yep. I'm really happy for the kid. He works hard, and he's proven each week that the Bears made the right decision and train up to get him, to be the franchise guy. For the Detroit Lions, I'm looking at DeAndre Swift, a guy, especially against a very bad Bears run defense right now. Expect, them to lean on DeAndre Swift and maybe open up some opportunities for guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? For example. But I expect the Lions to come in and obviously try to get the run game going. And I can definitely see DeAndre Swift having a big game against this Bears defense.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the previous running backs have all had big games. So, it should be a good game for him and Jamal Williams, but hopefully the Bears can just be stout, man. Make them work, make them earn everything they get. You don't want too many easy times. I feel like last week with the Dolphins, it was just too easy for them getting to where they needed, right. Red zone. So, just make them work for it, and then they'll have good results by doing that.
And I want to note something here, Isaiah, is that the Chicago Bears offense outscored the Miami Dolphins offense. We need to remember that one of their touchdowns came from special teams.
Right. Yeah.
So the Bears offense scored 32 points. The Dolphins offense scored 28. Yep. And once again, I've always said this, I tell this to my dad all the time. When you score 21 or more points, you're supposed to win a lot of football games.
Yeah.
That's just how it's supposed to go. Yep. Obviously, there's a lot of turnaround on the Chicago Bears defense. I expected this, but there's also still a lot of talent on that defense. I know they're young, but there's also a lot of talent. You still have leaders like Jalen Johnson, Eddie Jackson, right? Guys that need to step up for this defense and make some plays and help this offense out a little bit. And it sounds weird to say that now it's the Chicago Bears offense carrying this team, because for years, and this, Chicago Bears have always been known as a defensive town, a defensive team. But now it's flipped. Now it's the defense that needs to do their part, to win some football games here down the stretch.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of that, I think that, speaking of it just popped in my head. 2013, we actually were carried by our offense. We had Cutler, B. Marsh, and Alshon, Matt Forte. But yeah, I think the defense just needs to understand that they're in a rebuilding mode, and guys like Eddie Jackson, man, they need to really step up and actually, and lead. And I know he has been. He's doing his best, but it's hard to do it from safety. But they just need to be able to help that offense out a little bit better.
Right. And Isaiah, I just want to really cut to the chase. I'm really excited for the opportunity that Justin Fields has in this game. And like I said, I'm going to preach it until I'm blue in the face. I'm really excited for this game for Justin Fields. But let's cut to the chase. I want to hear 3 keys to a Chicago Bears win this week.
Justin Fields needs to be the best player on the field again. I felt like last week he was, out of everybody on the field, including Tyreek Hill and Jalen Watt. I feel like out of both teams, he was the best player. He needs to do it again. Bears defense needs to be stout. And what I mean by that is I'm not expecting them to go out there and, shut them down completely. But we used to have a goal board back when we played. Our goal was always to hold a team under 17 points. If they can do that, they have a really good chance at winning. Just kind of piggyback off of you saying them scoring 21 points. 17 points would be the ceiling. And then also tighten up the special teams. That was the loss right there, right? Like you spoke of, that touchdown hurt. It was 32-28 without that special teams touchdown. So tighten special teams, man. Don't allow any mishaps to happen.
Fun fact about you bringing up special teams. The last 2 weeks, the Bears defensive special teams has given up 77 points. And obviously the Bears have scored 32 plus 29. Simple math here is about, 61 points?
Yeah.
They got to do their part. People, it's 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams. We need everyone to come together. Obviously the Bears are not in that situation where we're the best team out there. But when you look at this next 4-game stretch, there's some winnable games: the Lions, Falcons, Jets, and Green Bay, especially the way they're playing. So if the defense can get it together, these are some winnable games here. You never know. Maybe the Bears are sitting at 7-6 going into the bye week, which is absolutely insane to me. But with the offense, the way that they're playing, it makes you a believer, especially in a very weak NFC this season.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, like, okay, maybe there is a little bit of opportunity there. And I don't want to sit here and talk about playoffs because it's not about that. But I'm just saying there is opportunity there.
It is. And shout out to Cole Kmet, man. He balled out last week. It was good to see him, get his feet up under him and just make some good plays, running people over, catching the ball, man. So I'm excited for him too. They got some weapons, man. It's scary. Yeah. It's scary out there in Chicago.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree. Isaiah, I think my 3 keys to a Chicago Bears win, I'm going to agree with you with Justin Fields. He has to be the best player on the field. The last couple of weeks, I'm just going to talk about fantasy here for a second. He has been QB1 for the last couple of weeks and has scored the most fantasy points out of everyone. So and that by itself is impressive. But Justin Fields has proved that he can be that guy. Because look at, once again, we're still building that offensive line. He's still trying to gain connection with his different weapons, right? You could see that him and Cole Kmet are starting to heat up. Him and Darnell Mooney are going to heat up. Once Chase Claypool learns offense, they're going to heat up. But Justin Fields, keep doing what you're doing. Get 1% better each week, like you like to say, Isaiah. And he's doing that each and every week. Key number 2, I think it's going to take 1 turnover on Jared Goff to kind of flip that tide, right? And I think the Lions are going to have success against this Bears defense, right? They're going to score some points as well. They're a pretty good offense. But I think if we can get after them, maybe get a couple of turnovers, that would bode well for a piping hot Justin Fields and Chicago Bears offense. And key number 3, make a play on special teams. That's as little, that's going as far as don't let a punt get blocked, for example, right? Just
Right.
make the necessary plays and don't mess up, right? If we can just play clean football, the Bears will have a very, very good chance in winning this football team. And I expect them to win this football game on Sunday.
The special teams, like you mentioned, it's been like, now that you look at it, it's been kind of a problem.
Yeah.
This, the fumbled punts, and they've just been putting the team in bad positions. So that definitely needs to tighten up, man. That is a big part of whether they win. Yeah.
Hey, three phases. And like I said, there's some winnable games here for the Chicago Bears, but the defense has to do their part. The offense has to keep playing the way they're playing, and special teams has to do their part as well. But the Bears are close, man. And I know we talk about this every week. The Bears are really close. They're one really good offseason away from being a really good football team within this to me, very weak NFC.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, in your eyes, let me ask you a question. In your eyes, what are their immediate needs for next year? And I already have a few in my mind, but immediate needs for next year to make them a contender.
What's funny is that this answer would have been different at the start of the year.
Right.
If you would have asked me this question at the start of the year, I would have instantly said receiver. But now it's not that. I think the immediate need, if I was GM Ryan Poles, the first round of the NFL draft, I'm taking a defensive lineman. I think we have to build in the trenches. And I know a lot of people can say, we need offensive line as well, but you're going to be able to fix that in free agency.
Right.
I think when you look at the NFL draft, it is deep at defensive lineman, and we need that 3 technique guy in the middle that can not only stop the run, but can also get after the passer as well.
Right. That 3 tech, definitely. Having a good 3 tech is big, as you can see in Los Angeles with Aaron Donald.
Yes.
I would agree with you. I think D-line, you should go definitely defense, right? I think defense should be number 1 priority. And you're looking at either D-line or you're looking at linebacker, right? Kind of honing in that middle. You can now also do that in free agency. But I think they're looking to go young at linebacker because they could have kept Roquan if that was the case. So I'm thinking they're going to do, they're going to go young for both. Probably first, second round, you're looking at D lineman and linebacker. So I agree. And
that's why getting Chase Claypool at the trade deadline was actually kind of masterful, because now you don't have to worry about getting a receiver. Their plan is to hopefully have either Chase Claypool or Darnell Mooney be their number 1. I do think they still need one more receiver to kind of complete that room. Hopefully it's Velus Jones, but it's not looking likely. But I feel like they need one more guy. But by you going out and getting Chase Claypool, a guy that can make those big plays for Justin Fields, now you can set your focus, like you said, on getting a really good defensive lineman or replacing Roquan Smith at linebacker.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, a third receiver would help. I'm not giving up on Velus yet. I think he's young still, man. He still has some time to grow. But yeah, having a third guy in there, almost like a veteran guy, right? You know what I mean? Like a veteran, like a third veteran guy to go in there. If you need a first down on third down, he's the guy that's going to move the sticks. So I agree there.
Yeah, and that's why this thing is so exciting. The Bears they're not getting blown out. They're playing competitive football, right? Even when we look at the Dallas Cowboys game, they were in the game. The defense just they broke, right? And obviously the offense turned over the ball in that game as well. So it just, one thing led to another, but the Bears are playing competitive football, and you're watching all these young guys getting a lot of valuable reps and playing time, right? And that's going to bode well for the future for the Chicago Bears as well. That's like one of the things that people are not really realizing. Bears fans will sit here and say, oh, we're losing, this sucks. But it's like, that's a good thing, because we're losing. Yeah, that's a true fact, right? Yeah. But we're playing well, especially on offense. And for years, that's what we've been complaining about, is how bad the Bears offense has been. Yeah. And that's credit to Flus, right? Flus is doing a good culture, man, regardless of what the record is. You watch that game, there's not a time in the game where you're like, man, these dudes are out there just slacking, man, just not playing. They're out there competing. And at the end of the day, man, that's all you can ask for. You go out there and do your best, and if your best is not enough, sometimes that's just the way the game goes. But if you out there playing your best every single play, giving it all you got, man, the sky's the limit, man. And I like the culture he's developing over there. It's looking good. Right, and I definitely agree. And they know it's a rebuild, but they don't care. They're still going to go out there and compete. He's going to have those guys ready. And Flus, we talk a lot about Justin Fields being the guy. Flus may be that guy. right? And I know the Bears have had a lot of different head coaches over the years. He may finally be that guy for the Bears that's here for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
You know, because I truly believe in his philosophies and the culture that he's already brought to Chicago. You can tell the players are buying in. Even when they traded Roquan Smith, you know, they sat down the leadership committee of the Bears and broke it down like why, you know, they traded him. They have a lot of respect for him. And that's what the Bears were missing, was a true leader at head coach as well.
Oh yeah, we haven't had one since Lovey, honestly. To be quite honest.
They're very similar.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And they come from the same tree, the family and all that. So yeah, it was crazy. I read an article this week. It was the most ridiculous article that they were saying that they should get rid of Eberflus and have Luke Getsy be the head coach. And I just, in my head, I'm like, man, you can't please anybody no more, man. It's just impossible.
You know why they're saying that is because they're fearful that we're going to lose Luke Getsy, because
we will. Good. That's what happens to good teams. You know what I mean? Like, as the team continues to progress, those coordinators turn into head coaches. That's just the way the league works.
Yeah.
But you always, the thing will make good, like Bill Belichick, for instance, what he does is he'll have a guy behind his coordinator ready to go when that guy's time to leave. You know what I mean? It's almost like a mentor program.
Right.
Yeah. And that's
right. And I'm very pleased with Coach Flus. Like each week. And you know, the thing I really love about this Bears team that I'm not really used to as a Bears fan is the adjustments. You know, we talk about it all the time that we wish that they would play 4 quarters, but it seems like the Bears are a much better second half team because they make those in-game adjustments. It's absolutely incredible. Every single week, you just see a different Bears team from the first half compared to the second.
Yeah, definitely. Once you start to match talent with those adjustments, you get a really good team. And the talent will come as they continue, you know, as this culture continues and, you know, as they progress. So, yeah.
Right. This is the bright future for the Chicago Bears. But Isaiah, I have to ask you, who you got this week? Bears or Lions?
I'm bear down this weekend, man.
You're bearing down this week?
I'm bearing down this weekend, man. I'm gonna give a score. I'm going 31-24 Chicago.
It's just crazy that we're giving the Bears 30 points now.
Blame me? You see how they've been playing this last couple? They've been one of the hottest offenses in the league this last couple of weeks, so I got to.
Think about it. Remember that podcast after the Commanders game? We're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is going to be a long year. I think I even said, welcome to the rebuild.
Right.
Which we're still in a rebuild, but holy smokes, 31-24 Lions. Man, I mean Bears. My bad. Okay, I like it. You know what? I'm actually going to give a score this week because I'm feeling that confident. And I actually have a bet with the Lions fan. I did this bet earlier on before the season. So the bet is basically, if the Lions sweep the Bears, I have to come on here and say the Lions own the Bears.
Okay.
And vice versa. So if the Bears do the same to the Lions, he has to come on the podcast and, you know, and maybe I'll have him come on this show and do it in front of both of us, you know, so we can give him a hard time, blah, blah. I don't think they're going to sweep us. That's just me. And I think in this game alone, I think the Bears are going to come back home and absolutely dominate on offense. And I think we will get some key defensive stops as well. But I'm going to say the Bears win 34-21.
34-21. Okay.
34-21. I'm just feeling really confident. You know, you look at the Lions defense, right? They are ranked dead last in basically every single category.
Yeah.
If we can't find success against the Detroit Lions, that is taking a step back.
I agree.
And I know each matchup is different. It's a division matchup. You know, Detroit Lions are coming off a big win against the Green Bay Packers. But I've always had this feeling. I had this feeling against, you know, obviously the Patriots, right? I have that same feeling, like that this is going to be the game that solidifies Justin Fields being the guy. And I already know that he is the guy. Right. But this is going to be the game where it's like, man, you're going to look back like, man, that's what he's supposed to do to the Lions. That's what you're supposed to do that to the teams that you're better than, right?
Right.
And I feel like this time he's going to carry the team to the win.
I agree. I think this is going to be a good game for them.
So before I let you go, Isaiah, what do you need? What do you need to see from Justin Fields? I know I ask you this every week, but what do you want to see from Justin Fields this week? And do you have a stat line that you would like to see from him this week?
You know, man, it's hard to say, man. I want to see the same stat line he had last week. Just to mix it up a little bit. Let's see him get over 250 yards passing. And
That would be nice.
Yeah, I'm just just to shut those other haters up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm getting tired of that. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's strictly just to shut them up because he don't need to do that. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. But let's just get 250 just because.
Just have fun, but still have 150 rushing yards too, right?
Exactly.
That would definitely shut the haters up. I'm not sure, before I let you go, I'm not sure if you've seen what LaShawn McCoy said about how he can't throw the ball.
Oh,
LaShawn McCoy went on the show. I don't even know how he became an analyst, first of all.
Yeah, his takes are terrible, by the way. Terrible.
His takes are terrible.
Yeah,
and he says he can't throw the ball. And Emmanuel also was like, shady. He threw 3 touchdowns. And he's like, that's a nice 6-yard pass that he threw, just basically mocking the fact that he can't throw deep. And he's like, did you see the dime to Darnell Mooney? Blah, blah, blah. I actually just posted a video the other day about basically like, exposing Shady McCoy and like rebuttaling what he said. You should go check it out. But he can't throw the ball. So
he is the Skip Bayless of NFL players turned analysis now. That's exactly what he's been since he started. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, they got to stop letting some of these ex-players become analysts because they don't actually analyze the game. They look at the 123 yards passing and said, oh, he can't throw the ball, right?
Yeah. Oh, and he's just looking to go viral. I get it, man. That's the new wave nowadays.
That's the media.
Hey, when I come on here about 2 weeks from now and I start saying outlandish stuff, just know I'm trying to go viral.
Hey, that would be good for both of us because that means you're on my podcast. That means my podcast will go viral.
Right. Yeah. I'll start saying some outlandish stuff, man, just to get it viral.
Maybe next week we'll say Justin Fields is guaranteed to have 400 yards this week.
Yes, 100%.
So we're going to do the same thing. But hey, that's what the media does. And obviously, Isaiah, like I say every week, I'm very thankful for you coming on and talking Bears football with me every single week. I'm excited for this friendship and partnership that we have. I know a lot of the Bears fans are enjoying our content as well. So that's always a good thing as well. So thanks once again for coming on.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me. I enjoy this. This is dope. Like you said, hopefully one day we can get a live or something going, man. That'd be cool.
We definitely will get some fans on here, ask you some questions. Ask us some questions about the Bears. We will definitely get some live streams going so we can have the fans ask you some questions.
Yeah, sounds good.
So Bears fans, before I let you guys go, let me ask you guys this. Who is going to win this matchup between the Bears and the Lions? Let me know down below in the comment section. Before I let you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. Make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, I'll be back for an all new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe cause I be on it right. You ain't